Okay, here we go. Okay, before we start, somebody tell me what a y-intercept is. Explain to me what do I mean if I say y-intercept? What does that mean, Jordan?
On like the y-axis and then slope the dot that meets
Okay.
the y-axis.
But I'm not even worried about slope. All I'm worried about, all I want to know is what does it mean if I said y-intercept? What is the definition of the y-intercept? It's where my line what? Crosses the y-axis. Okay, good. Yes, good. Okay, so if I had a line, okay, let's just say I had a line that was like right here. Okay, could you tell me where that crosses the y-axis? Could you tell me where that crosses? Where is it? At 3. Okay, let's say that this line kept. I'm going to move it a little bit. Well, okay, there we go. Let's say I looked at this line. Okay, you can tell me where it crosses the y-axis, right? What's the y-intercept of this? 2. Now, where does it cross the x-axis? What is that? 3. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to start using, we're going to graph, but we're going to use the x-axis, x-intercept, and the y-intercept. Okay, this is actually really easy once you get the hang of it. Okay, all right. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this. This is graphing using x and y intercepts. Okay. Now pay attention to this, how this works, because this is a little confusing to start with. Okay, but once you get it, like I said, it's pretty easy. Okay, think about this. All right, if I was to look at a line, okay, you know that this line right here, where does it cross the y-axis? Look at it. Where does it cross the y-axis? Look at it. What is it? A 2. Now, what is the value of x when it crosses that y-axis? Think about what I just said. Where it crosses, right here, what is the value of x where it crosses? Listen to what I'm saying. Who said that? Thank you. Okay? When I cross the y-axis, my x value is what? 0. Where it crosses the x-axis, what's my y value? 0. Okay? Remember that. You got it? Okay. Now let's go back. Okay? Let's say I have an equation that looks like this. Okay? X plus 2y equals 4. Now, I could graph this using slope-intercept. Okay? I could graph this using slope-intercept by getting this into slope-intercept form, right? But I'm not doing that. I'm going to graph by using just the y-intercept and the x-intercept. Well, how do I do that? Okay. I know, important stuff here, when the line crosses the y-axis, x equals 0. And when it crosses the x-axis, tell me what does y equal? 0. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to first find what my x-intercept is. Okay, so step 1, find x-intercept. Well, in order to find that, what did I just tell you? That when my line crosses the x-axis, what does y equal? 0. So I'm going to write this equation, x plus 2, but I'm going to replace the y with a 0. Okay, so x, what's 2 times 0? That's a tough one. What's 2 times 0? 0. I want to try it again. What's 2 times 0? 0. So if this becomes 0, this is basically x plus 0 equals 4. Well, what does that mean? X equals 4. So I have found my x-intercept. Okay, do you understand what we did there? My x-intercept equals 4. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to plug in to try to find my y-intercept. If I'm going to find my y-intercept, well, what does this say? What does that say? If I'm trying to find my y-axis, my y-intercept, my x is going to equal what? 0. So I'm going to go back to this original equation, x plus 2y equals 4. But this time I'm going to replace what was 0? The x was 0. So this is 0 plus 2y equals 4. Well, what does that mean? 2y equals 4, right? Divide each side by 2. What does y equal? 2. Okay, so now I have my x-intercept is 4, my y-intercept is 2. So I'm going to go to my graph. My x-intercept, what was my x-intercept? 4, and my y-intercept is 2. So I'm going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put my first line. What's my y-intercept? 2. And then I draw my line. It goes through those. Okay, all I did was graph using the x and y-intercept. Very confusing at first, but that's not that hard, is it? Let's look at another one. Okay? Let's look at another one. Jordan, question.
Can you go back, like the y? I need to look at the y equation.
Okay. We'll do another one.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Let's look at another one. Okay, do you guys kind of sort of understand what we did there? Kind of a little bit, sort of a little bit? Okay. Let's do another one here. Okay, I'm going to erase all this. I'm going to leave this other stuff up here because we might need to refer to that. Okay. Let's say I have this equation. 2x minus 5y equals 15. And I want to graph using intercepts, okay? So if I'm going to find the x, and over here I'll find the y. Well, if I'm finding the x, what does y have to equal?
0.
Everybody, if I'm finding x, what does y have to equal? 0. So I'm going to say 2x minus 5 times 0 equals 15, right? Right? Yeah. So what is 2x minus, what's 5 times 0? Equals 15. Well, that's just the same thing as saying 2x equals what? 15. Divide each side by 2. Okay, now, normally when we have done slope, what did I tell you guys to do? Leave it in what? Improper fraction. If it was in a form that was an improper fraction, leave it. But I don't want you to do that with this because this is a y-intercept. Now, 2 can't go into 15 evenly, can it? But how many times does 2 go into 15? 7. And what's left over? 1 over. It went through 7.5 times, right? So what that's telling me is that my x-intercept is not 7, it's not 8, it's what? 7.5. Is that easy enough? Okay. Now let's find y. Okay, so if I find y, what does my x have to equal? Everybody, what does my x have to equal? 0. So I have 2 times 0, I'm replacing the x, minus 5y equals 15. Well, what's 2 times 0? 0 minus 5y equals 15. All that's left here is what? Negative 5y equals 15. Well, if I divide each side by negative 5, what do I have? Y equals what? Negative 3. Am I good to graph now? Yes, I am. Okay, my x-intercept is 7.5. So how am I going to graph 7.5 on the x-intercept? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where should it go? Right there. Agreed? Now how do I graph negative 3 on my y-intercept? Where's that going to be? Right here? And then all I have to do is make a what? Make a line that goes through them. Okay? This is not that bad, is it?
Can you go back to the... Yeah, can you go back?
Yeah. To that? Okay. In other words, my rule, to find x, make y 0. To find y, make x 0. Okay? Let's try another one. Can I erase this, peeps?
Yes.
Not yet. Tell me when. You? No? Yeah? No? Yeah? 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 No? Okay. All right. So let's say, I'll put another little rule down here just so you want to write it. To find x, y equals 0. To find y, what? X equals 0. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's do our next equation. All right, I've got 3x minus y equals negative 5. Okay, what should we find first? Okay, let's find the x-intercept. Okay, if I'm finding x, what does it say? What does it say? Read this. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh my, holy moly, guys. Ready? 2. Say that. Find x, y equals 0. All right. Okay, so if I'm finding x, we're going to have 3x. I'll write the whole equation again so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so this is 3x minus, what does y become? 0 equals negative 5. 3x equals negative 5. Divide each side by 3. Okay, what does x equal? 3 can't go into 5, can it? How many times does 3 go into 5? Once, and what's left over? 2/3. Can we graph negative 1 and 2/3? Yeah, yeah. It's between 1 and 2, and it's 2/3 of the way over, right? Okay. 2, we're gonna find y-intercept here. Let's read this together. Go. To find all right. So I have 3x minus y equals negative 5. What is the x replaced with? 0. Now, here's what I've got. I've got 0 minus y equals negative 5. That 0 doesn't really matter. I have negative y equals negative 5. Now, what's the problem here? Who remembers what to do? I need y by itself. Who remembers what to do when I have a variable that's by itself, but there's a negative sign in front of it? Sam.
You take y and you just make the other side negative and you make y positive.
Opposite, right? Okay, so this y becomes a positive y, and this negative 5 is no longer negative. What is it? It is positive 5. Okay? Do we have enough to graph now?
Yep.
Do we have enough to graph now? Yeah. So let's graph. Negative 1 and 2/3. Where's that going to be? That's the x-axis. Where's that going to be? Negative 1. This is negative 2. Where's that going to go? Like around right there? Does that look good? It's close enough. We'll say we can make it bigger so that we can, more margin for error. All right. And what's our y? Our y is 5. Let's go to 5 on the y-axis. Is that down here? Where is it? Like right, whoa, not that big. Right there. And then all we have to do is make a what? Okay. Like that. Okay? Do you kind of understand how this works now? Let's try another one. Okay. You want to try this one on your own? Okay. I'm going to erase all this. I mean, truthfully, is this that hard? No. All right. Try this one. 3x minus y equals negative 3. All I want you to do is find the x and y intercepts. Don't have to graph them. We'll graph them together. Find the x and y intercepts. Go. Find the x and y intercepts.
So if you have a minus 0, can you just totally ignore that?
Yes. Because anything minus 0 is itself, right?
Yeah.
Macy has an answer. Levi has an answer. Stella almost has an answer. Sarah has an answer. Sam's got an answer. Okay, Sam. If you're not done, guys, keep working. Okay? Sam, can you help me find the x-intercept?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
So my x-intercept, what do I have to do?
you
Make
have-
y what?
Make y 0.
Okay, so this is 3x minus y equals negative 3, which means 3x minus 0 equals negative 3, which basically means 3x equals negative 3, right?
Yep.
And then you divide each side by what?
3.
By 3. And what does x equal?
X equals -1.
Negative 1. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Very good. That's how we found our x-intercept. Okay, who can help me find the y-intercept? Okay, Julia, help me find the y-intercept.
Okay, so you turn the x into a 0.
Okay.
And then multiply that by 3, which equals 0. And then negative y equals negative 3, and then you put the negative from the y over to the 3, which makes it positive, so y equals positive 3.
Very good. Do you have enough information to graph that now?
Yeah.
So let's graph it. Okay, if we graph that, x is negative 1. Where's negative 1 on the x-axis? Right there. And where is, what was our y? 3. Positive 3, so where's that? Right there, and then we make a line. Okay? Do you guys get this now?
Yeah.
It's not that bad, is it, once you get it? Okay, you want to try one more, or do you want to do your worksheet? Does anybody want to see another example? And it's okay if you do. You want to see one more? Okay, let's do one more. All right. Hey, shh, be nice, people. I was going to do it anyway, whether he said he wanted to or not, so. Okay. Try this one. 2x minus 3y equals 6. Okay? Try that one. 2x minus 3y equals 6. Who can help me find the x-intercept? Levi, help me find the x-intercept. If I find the x-intercept, what equals 0? Okay. So that says 2x minus 3 times 0 equals 6. 2x minus 0 equals 6, which means what? 2x equals 6. What does x equal? 3. Okay, very good. Who can help me find the y-intercept? Jane, help me find the y-intercept.
Okay, so it's going to be 2, 0, minus 3y equals 6.
So that's just 0 minus 3y equals 6, which is negative 3y equals 6. Divide each side by what? Negative 3. And what does what does y equal? Sorry. Negative 2. Are we good now? Can we graph that? Yeah, so if I graphed y equals negative 2, it's right here. And x equals 3 is right here. And then I just, wow.
This is sad.
Hey, don't make fun of me because I can't make straight lines.
I can't
Okay.
make straight lines.
Yeah, see, I feel your pain, man. Okay. Are we good on this? All right. Very good.